Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. The function of prayer is not to influence God, but rather to change the nature of the one who prays. People demand freedom of speech as a compensation for the freedom of thought which they seldom use. Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. People understand me so poorly that they don't even understand my complaint about them not understanding me. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. There are two ways to be fooled. One is to believe what isn't true. The other is to refuse to believe what is true. The most common form of despair is not being who you are. Every mental act is composed of doubt and belief, but it is belief that is the positive. It is belief that sustains thought and holds the world together. Once you label me, you negate me. The most painful state of being is remembering the future, particularly the one you'll never have. And this is one of the most crucial definitions for the whole of Christianity, that the opposite of sin is not virtue but faith. Hope is a passion for the possible. What if everything in the world were a misunderstanding? What if laughter were really tears? To dare is to lose one's footing momentarily. Not to dare is to lose oneself. The tyrant dies and his rule is over. The martyr dies and his rule begins. To venture causes anxiety, but not to venture is to lose oneself. And to venture in the highest is precisely to be conscious of oneself. Face the facts of being what you are, for that is what changes what you are. God creates out of nothing. Wonderful, you say. Yes, to be sure, but he does what is still more wonderful. He makes saints out of sinners. To cheat oneself out of love is the most terrible deception. It is an eternal loss for which there is no reparation, either in time or in eternity. If anyone on the verge of action should judge himself according to the outcome, he would never begin. The proud person always wants to do the right thing, the great thing, but because he wants to do it in his own strength, he is fighting not with man, but with God. The highest and most beautiful things in life are not to be heard about, nor read about, nor seen, but, if one will, are to be lived. Many of us pursue pleasure with such breathless haste that we hurry past it. It is so hard to believe because it is so hard to obey. My melancholy is the most faithful sweetheart I have had. Boredom is the root of all evil, the despairing refusal to be oneself. Therefore, do not deceive yourself. Of all deceivers, fear most yourself. If you want to be loathsome to God, just run with the herd. It is impossible to exist without passion. There is nothing with which every man is so afraid as getting to know how enormously much he is capable of doing and becoming. The task must be made difficult, for only the difficult inspires the noble-hearted. It is the duty of the human understanding to understand that there are things which it cannot understand. The self-assured believer is a greater sinner in the eyes of God than the troubled disbeliever. I feel as if I were a piece in a game of chess. When my opponent says of it, that piece cannot be moved. My standpoint is armed neutrality. Leap of faith, yes, but only after reflection. Why bother remembering a past that cannot be made into a present? Happiness is the greatest hiding place for despair. On the secretly blushing cheek is reflected the glow of the heart. It is very important in life to know when your cue comes. My sorrow is my castle. Take away paradox from the thinker and you have a professor. A no does not hide anything, but a yes very easily becomes a deception. Once you are born in this world, you're old enough to die. The only intelligent tactical response to life's horror is to laugh defiantly at it. What looks like politics and imagines itself to be political will one day unmask itself as a religious movement. It belongs to the imperfection of everything human that man can only attain his desire by passing through its opposite. In my great melancholy, I loved life, for I love my melancholy. Now, with God's help, I shall become myself.